All right, this is going to be our group assignment today. This is how this works. Each and every single person is responsible for answering all of the questions. I'm going to tell you the parts that need to be answered and the parts that you're just going to read over. As a group, you're going to pick a person to read. I'm going to go and read this first. And this is talking about linear functions. Here, the only thing in this section that you're going to do is you're going to read through the graph and you're going to answer the questions orally. You're not going to write answers to this. Think about this situation is only just a discussion, and you don't need to spend any longer than 5 minutes on this discussion. Okay? The things that you need to know about this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. My x-axis is my independent variable. Sorry. This is also in your notes. This is another word for x is your independent variable. Okay. This is my dependent variable. And remember, you can go back and watch this video a little bit later. Okay. All right. This is a linear line. This is a straight line. This is a linear function. Your starting amount is right here. Your slope is your rise over your run. There's two ways to calculate slope. You can use rise over run to calculate slope, or you can use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? After that, after you have your 5-minute discussion about the chart, this is where you start answering questions. As you read, this question right here is not to be answered. This is just letting you know what, admit some folks to class. This is just letting you know what you should get out of the lesson. Please don't go answering this question. This is where you start answering the question here at number 1. These are your x or n values. These are your y, and the letter that they use for y in this problem is B. You're going to take this equation, B is equal to 20, which is your starting amount, starts at $20 plus $5 per application, and you're going to substitute these x or n values into the equation to figure out what your output is going to be. So this first one is 0. So you say B is equal to 20 plus 5 times 0. This is going to give me 20 plus 0, which is 20. So you put 20 here. Then you're going to substitute 1. So you have B is equal to 20 plus 5 times 1. Then you're going to substitute 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and so on and so forth. Okay? Second part. It says compare the pattern of change shown in your table as in the graph. So look at the table. What's the change that's happening here in the table? What can you see? What kind of pattern do you see here with these numbers? And then go back to the graph. This is the graph. And what kind of pattern do you see in the graph? Write it in words. Okay? C. This is C here. Okay? How will Barry earn on the day that he does not collect any? How much will he earn? So what's the starting amount is what they're asking you for. How much is he going to earn if there are no credit card applications? What's the starting amount is what they're asking for here. How do you know what the starting amount is in the equation? Okay. How do you know what the starting amount is in the table? And how do you know what the starting amount looks like in the graph? This one, how much additional money does Barry earn for the applications he collects? So how much does it cost for each application? How do you see that in the equation? Where is it in the equation? How do you see that in the table? And what does that look like in the graph? How do you know that by looking at the graph? Then you're going to write a next now equation for this. And this is where we're going to try to get to this part today, but if we don't get to E today, that's okay. We'll get to E on Thursday. Any questions about what I want you to do today in your group? Okay, stop sharing.